soft. Look at this rug. This is beautiful. Nice soft on my feet, too. Good morning, everyone. I'm Katie. I'm the general manager here at ADAC, and I am excited to welcome everyone to Digital Day today. Digital Day is one of two business series that we do each year. Digital Day is in the spring, and Get Down to Business is in the fall. And Digital Day is going to be focused on ways that you can grow your business through social media and digital platforms and technology. So we have a great lineup of events today for really great business events. Your schedule of events is in your chair, so just take a look at that so that you know where to be today for each of the four events. Well, you're going to be here, but what time? And we will try to stay on schedule, I promise. We will take a break at lunch. Hungry Peach is open today, so you can go. They're expecting everyone, so go grab a bite there if you're planning to stay for the whole day, and then be back here at 1 o'clock for the next two sessions. Remember that we love to have some fun on social media, so use our handle, which is at ADAC Atlanta, and our hashtag for today, which is on your event guide, is Digital Day at ADAC. So we love to see pictures, and you know our community loves to see your faces on our social media. So have some fun with us today. We do have books and pens in the seat because you're going to get some really great content today, and we want to make sure that you can write everything down that you need. So if you need anything today, if you need any help, just grab me. We've got Cammie and Fresca here today, as well as some of our other teammates, so just grab us if you need anything. Remember that all of our events for our business days, including today, will be recorded, and we will send out an email following probably in like 2 weeks or so that will have all of the events, the links to the events that have been recorded, and they will be on our YouTube channel. So you can rewatch anything if you missed it and wanted to make sure you look at that content again. I do want to thank one of our sponsors today, which is Business of Home. They help us put on both of our business days. And now I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Georgia McElveen for our first event this morning. Thank you so much.
Hello. Are we on? Can you guys hear me? Good morning, Atlanta. So it's so nice to be here today. It's actually the first time that I've been able to step foot in ADAC due to COVID. Ainsworth Noah was our first showroom that we signed with during COVID. So it's very exciting to be here and see the beautiful space you have. It's definitely one of the more beautiful design centers. So I'm Georgia McElveen. I'm the creative designer of Casa Branca, and I'm also the lucky daughter-in-law of Alessandra Branca. So Alessandra Branca and I started working together while I was running a digital design team in New York, and I was helping her source artwork for her clients. We worked together for about a year on the side, and I realized that we had a really nice working relationship. And she just was starting to have the little idea of Casa Branca, was working on some of the inspiration from vintage textiles, and she lured me to Chicago to start working with her on Casa Branca. At the time, my husband, Andrew, was in business school there, and we were just about ready to launch, but we needed some help with the business side of things and the spreadsheets, because Alessandra and I are two creatives. So we lured him in, and he's never looked back, which is great because we definitely need him. We've also been very lucky with the brand to be able to piggyback off of Alessandra's rich and storied career. So she's been designing homes for over 30 years. She has a unique style. It's all about detail, the mix. Her signature color is red. When people think about Alessandra, they usually associate the color red, which definitely runs deep with her Italian roots. And so when we built the brand at the beginning, it was looking at this, looking at Italy, and looking at some of the things she'd already been using. So you'll see in our branding, it's very red, black, and white. March 17th, 2020, dun, dun, dun. This was the day we decided to launch Casa Branca. We had secured a pop-up space in Palm Beach, where now our current location is, with Mary Mahoney. And a couple days before, we had to make the call to cancel the event. And so we took a big step back and kind of looked at what is our digital strategy? You know, if we're not going to be able to pop up all over the country and meet with showrooms and actually meet with people in person, you know, is there an opportunity here for us to actually reach more people? So we came up with the tagline, "You don't have to go there to be there." We loved this image from Horse P. Horse with the evening slipper, because the idea was, let's make a wonderful virtual experience where people can be at home in the comfort of their home and relaxing luxuriously in their slippers. So do it for the gram. This is definitely something we try to do all the time, is make everything beautiful, because people love to share beautiful things. So our packaging, it's, you know, again, drawing from Alessandra, the detail, everything is attention to detail. So we created this little launch box, and some of them we hand delivered in LA in these marbleized boxes that followed our branding, and that was also a little COVID blessing, that little blue car, which reupholstered in Casa Branca fabrics. So we drive that little guy around, and was very popular during Legends in LA, got a lot of posts. So we put together these little kits with a Negroni Sbagliato, which is Alessandra's favorite cocktail. It's Negroni with Prosecco. It's delicious. And sent all of these to about 70, maybe even 100 top designers, and hosted little virtual cocktails, which was really fun at that time during COVID. People weren't sick of Zoom yet. So people were enjoying their cocktails. One designer even had a bird on her shoulder. Babies were running around. It was really fun to meet with designers that way. Photography is your greatest asset. I know you guys have all heard this. I'm sure everyone believes in this. But this was an interesting challenge for us, having to do this during COVID. So we had launched a brand, but we weren't able to do any photo shoots. So luckily, the year before, we had met Carmel Brantley at Kips Bay, and all of our stuff was in Florida because we were supposed to do the pop-up there. And so we coordinated with her, we FaceTimed with her, and we did 2 days of shoots in her home, where she, like, this is one of my all-time favorite shots for our brand. And then another day, we did a second shoot where we had all this furniture that was there, and luckily we got connected to someone who had a beautiful yard in Palm Beach, and we had movers go, and at that time you couldn't be indoors with people, so we just shot everything outside. We took this one step further and did more of like an editorial style shoot. We worked with 3 artists in LA and put in our little marble boxes some product and fabrics and delivered them to each of the artists and had them just have fun with it. So this is just one example from each artist, but again, it was once you establish your style and your point of view, then you can start to have a little more fun and work with artists in this way and work with other designers to see how they can carry your brand, show a different view. So develop and own your look. Determine what your specific point of view is and run with it. Make it your signature. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Formulas and templates are your best friend. So it's great to, like the image from Carmel, those kind of things, like those evergreen images, it's great to just show them again and again so people become familiar with your brand and your style. One thing that we definitely show over and over again is that little floret symbol, which is part of the logo, and the double outline and the Branca stripes. And then in terms of this also applies to physical spaces. So this was a pop-up we did in New York, but we sort of followed the formula we had done in our showroom in Palm Beach so that it's recognizable. You see the colors, the pattern, which is what our brand is all about. And it sort of reflects, you know, how we do that rainbow gradient color on Instagram too. Am I pointing at the right place? I'm scared it's gonna jump forward a million places. Where should I point? Okay, thank you. So weaving a cohesive narrative across all your platforms. So taking your logo, taking your symbols and your motifs that you repeat, and how can you do this digitally? How can you do this physically? So, you know, with our floret, we use that, wherever we can. We use it as bullet points. We also use it on some of our products. So you want people to look and recognize that that's your brand. So we had a lot of fun developing this color. Our brand's all about color, so we liked the idea of scrolling through the Instagram and getting that feel, kind of having like a rainbow effect as you scroll through. And for this, we kind of plan out, a couple weeks per color, and we try to see what season it is and what sort of events we have going on and plan around that. And then we also have the highlights, which we did little drawings for, and we use those in different areas too. But just keeping everything consistent and cohesive. And then also we do quotes, and we try to spread those out so that they're always in the same place, so it's very visually appealing when you scroll through. Another thing to note is if you're starting off a brand, you can start with more inspo image and still get the same effect, and we were able to do that at the beginning when we didn't have as much of our own content. Similar idea here. It's, when you're working on something, when you're creating an asset, make sure that you capitalize on that. Like, how many times can you use it? So we usually start with our email newsletter as the base, and we come up with an idea that relates to the brand. So, for example, this one was Alessandra's mom's pasta sauce, and we wanted to celebrate that and tie in Alessandra's background or love of cooking, and then tie in product with it. And we do that a lot with our emails, where it's a nice balance of product, education, and little nuggets of inspiration. So in the middle, that would be our email newsletter, and then on the side is how we repurpose it for Instagram stories. And then on our website, we have our blog Journale, where that will also be featured after the email goes out. So we're trying to use everything we create, we use as many ways as we can. And the blog is very important because this creates SEO terms for you. So having a blog on your website will link to you in many different ways, and it's also important to link out to different sites on your blog to get more SEO. It's all in the unboxing details. So again, I think, at the beginning when we had these beautiful boxes for the launch, all the designers were posting it. It really got us out there, because really if you have a beautiful brand and nobody sees it, what good is that? So our interns, one of them is here today, taught us that people just obsess on TikTok over packaging videos and unboxing, and they just love to watch them. So definitely pay attention to that. La Vita Casa Branca. So our biggest brand supporter has been designers. So once you have developed your point of view, like I mentioned before, you can let people run with it. So, we have designers posting about which one should I put in which one should I make pillows, which one should I do this, and then people posting it, people reposting it. And so, I think it's no surprise that our most shared Papavero paper is also our top seller. And then I loved being in the Palm Beach store last week and hearing a designer come in and say they saw that image and they just want to recreate the exact same thing. So designers are a brand's best friend for sure. This is another great shot from the intern. So there's definitely workarounds if you can't hire a professional photographer. So this we just shot with the interns last summer in our little office. Just picked up a little piece of fabric as a backdrop. But here is a partnership with Peter Beaton Hats. And this one was great because I think when you're partnering with people, it's important to think outside of your bubble sometimes so that you can get a broader reach. So here it was thinking about, okay, people who love fashion probably love interior design too and may not have heard about us. And so with this partnership and many of ours, we always try to come up with something signature that people will recognize, like the Branca stripe here, and incorporating our patterns. So some considerations for partnerships, and this includes showrooms too. Are they capable of telling your story? What can you provide to protect and develop that process? Lookbooks and collection guides for showrooms, storytelling notes and sales training, brand consistency. What are your real differentiators? What makes your brand special? every brand tells a story. What is your story? So these are some things to think about when you're partnering with people, but also thinking about how to talk about your brand so that it comes off the way that you want it to. So this Fleur mirror was another great partnership. We launched this one last year during Kips Bay and Palm Beach, and there's a couple things going on here, but I think we've learned that the mirror shots and the selfie shots are big. So if you have a product or a fabric or wallpaper, get them in people's selfie spots or get a mirror in front of them and they'll post it. And then all the show houses, we've partnered with different designers. If we don't do our own room, which that has great results, but we partner with designers to loan them some products, some accessories, or we give them discounted fabric and wallpaper because those just get tons and tons of posts. So I highly recommend looking into that and reaching out to designers or doing your own. And then we partner with a lot of artists. Margot Larkin is one that we've partnered with from the beginning, and it's great when you find someone that's has their own following and is very active too. So she's always posting, her process, which is nice for people to see. But here she was doing 6 lamps for Honey Collins at the recent Kips Bay, and they all sold out before she even installed the room. So get it out there. We love working with artists. Again, this is just all about repeating motifs, finding your style that's unique. And for all 3 of these artists shown here, we have not met any of them in person yet. And so this is just to show that you can connect with people on Etsy and Instagram and create beautiful work that relates back to your brand. And we love having this artist background, and we do features on them and Q&As. Influencers. So while it was pretty deep COVID, Ariel Oken reached out to us as the first person to propose asking for free wallpaper in exchange for posts. And she had this story coming up in House Beautiful, and so we were like, sure, let's give this a shot. Again, it's the Papavero wallpaper. This is probably what kicked it off. It is by far our best seller. So this worked out so well for us that we decided to sort of explore this route a little bit more. And initially we just dug into designers that are influencers, and we've been sending, product that we can send for tabletop, smaller items, and we try to keep a relationship with some of these influencers. And then this is another example where I said to look, outside of your bubble, because I think, once you can only get so far with the interior design bubble. And so here, this was someone in Charleston who loved our Papavero wallpaper, and she installed it into her closet, so she's always posting her things from her closet, which is great, and we've seen the most followers from her. And then it was an opportunity for us to say, okay, thank you for shopping these things, can we suggest this? Because when you have things that aren't selling as well, we don't really need any help selling Papavero anymore. So it's a way to sort of offer free product to get things that aren't getting shown enough, because the things that you get photos of are definitely the things that are easier to sell once people can see them being used. Tools of the digital design trade. So there's a ton of different schedulers out there that you can use. We love using Planoly, so this helps us build out our whole feed. We usually try to do a month in advance so we can see what the flow is like. It allows you to add little notes in there, different events that are coming up. And then email newsletter services are very important. I like Klaviyo and MailChimp. Klaviyo works really well with Shopify, so that's why we use that one. And then they both allow you to do sort of welcome series, which I think are great. So when someone signs up for your newsletter, if you've already had emails prepared, you can add those. So we have a welcome email, and then we have a selection of our favorite emails to send them every 2 weeks. And then we try to send out 1 email a week in addition to that. But at the beginning, it's definitely quality over quantity. So, sending out 1 email a month is great, and I think it's good to not clog people's inboxes. So timing is everything. So the pop-up space we were supposed to have for our launch originally in March 2020 became available to have full-time. So this is our little jewel box on Worth Avenue in Palm Beach. And it's been really great because it's helped us to actually experience the brand. So we've been doing everything so digitally, but now when I go into the store, I'm like, oh, okay, like this is how it's supposed to feel. So it's taken it one step further for us where now we want to look at our website and our virtual experience again and try to make sure that we're portraying what we have going on in the store. And one of our biggest things that we built the brand on was an educational aspect. And so we've been doing some book signings this year with a live streaming component, which has been a really nice way to involve people and exploring a little bit with reels, and then also presenting our pop-ups. So having the people that are doing their pop-ups give a little talk through what they have and selling things through DM and Instagram. So I want to thank you all so much. It's been such a pleasure to be here in person. We've definitely experienced an explosion of events after not being able to do events in person for a long time. But we've made sure that all of those luncheons and talks and pop-ups and everything relates back to the brand. And then we'll be back here again in April at Greg Irby's house for Design Social. We'll be able to present. And then we're hoping to do an event with Ainsworth Noah then too to show our new Primavera collection. So I hope to see you all then. Does anyone have any questions? Yeah. No? Oh.
Hold on. One thing. Let me, I just want to let everybody know, I have a microphone because we're videoing all of our events today. If you will just let me get to you with the microphone, because it's much better audio quality when we can hear what the questions are. So, little caveat there.
I couldn't read your slide for your tools.
Okay.
I saw Planoly.
So Planoly, yeah,
Planoly,
Planoly, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, if you could go through
so-
that one again, that'd
yeah,
be great.
Yeah. Ooh, trying to go backwards. Okay. So Planoly, I love. You got it. Okay. And then this one is Klaviyo, and that's for the newsletters. And MailChimp is also really great. It just depends on how you're hosting your website and how you want things to integrate. Yes, that's right. I love MailChimp too. I was bummed when I had to switch to Klaviyo, but now I've learned to love Klaviyo too.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay. Got a quiet group this morning. It's all right. All right, well, good. Well, if we don't have any questions for the audience, do you, Georgia, I'm sure you will be around if anybody wants
Yes,
to.
absolutely. I would love, and please, anyone send me any emails if you have any follow-up questions.
There we go. Do I see that?
Thank you.
Thanks.